Any student participation, say college or high school?
Actually, our office has a team member on their team who's a local high school student. He's been helping out with the team.
And he's interested in architecture, obviously?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And we offer internships at our office, and I know a lot of the other architecture firms. EYP specifically has internships at their offices. I know that there are a couple of teams who have RPI students on their team. They're actually laser cutting all their templates because RPI has a nice laser cutter over there.
Okay. Wow.
So there's a variant on the level of technology used to put these things together. Everything from jigsaws and paper to laser cutters, and a lot of the designs are actually, we encourage the teams to put together the designs in a design software like an AutoCAD or Revit, so that they can model this thing in advance. They know how many cans they're going to need. They know how structurally how this thing is going to be supported, and then so they get a little bit more idea about how this thing really actually has to go together before.
Instead of trying to assemble it and modify, you can kind of get an idea.
I mean, there's a lot of trial and error. We as a board did a can structure as a promotional piece in the lobby of the museum. So we kind of went through the same things in advance of the team. So we've been able to kind of help them and guide them along as far as templates and substrates and balancing cans and all sorts of other issues. And there's a lot of trial and error. So build day should be fun. It's going to be a madhouse. We've got between the 9 teams, we've got about 118 people that are going to be there actually building these during the day. So it should be a lot of fun.
This is going to be quite the event. Now, once they build the structures, are they taken down the same day, or they stayed on display for a little while?
No, they stay on display for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Yep, and then once and that allows the public to be able to come, and it's a free and open to the public event, so that school groups can come, school groups and families. On the weekends, it's going to be open, and it's manned by the staff at the State Museum, and they'll be available to take a look at anytime you want, and bring canned goods. That's how you vote. So the Community Choice Awards.
The competition actually it doesn't happen all in one day, then you're saying?
Well, we build on one day. The very next day, it's judged, and we have a panel of jurors that are made up of local celebrities and people from the area. We're going to keep that a secret, though. We don't want to give it away. Nobody influencing judges. And then they judge, and then that evening, after the judging is complete, we have an awards reception. And that's when the teams receive their awards, and we have a big bash to kind of celebrate all the work that the teams have done. And it's an incredible amount of work to put one of these together.
Yeah, I imagine. You're talking
all
about
of the architecture firms and the engineering firms that have put these together have been very, very gracious about donating their time in the form of hours, and a lot of times during work hours, a lot of times during off work hours too. So there's a lot of volunteer and charity components to this, but the teams from the different firms around the area have been very, very generous with donating their time.
I think it's a great program. I mean, it serves a good need. The food gets used. There's competition is always good.
Yep, and it's a great creative outlet.
People want to come up with the best designs, especially when you're talking about engineers and architects. They always want to,
take it to the top.
One up the next guy.
Exactly.
So this is your first, EYP's first, or EYP is?
Yep, EYP is a major sponsor. CS Arch is a major sponsor. We've also got major sponsorship from Price Chopper, like we mentioned.
Okay.
KeyBank is a major sponsor.
This is all first year for them, though, sponsoring this.
This is our first year of doing this in the area. So yeah, and if there are opportunities, there will be opportunities in the future for other people to sponsor the event. And it's a great way to publicize not only your office or your firm, but also highlight some of the people that do really wonderful charitable things in our neighborhood and our capital district.
So what is your design this year? Or can you not give that away?
I can't tell you. No, my team would probably string me up by my toes.
Can't give that away. So it's pretty much a secret till the end.
Come see it at the museum. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
I did look at the website. I had a chance to review some of the stuff. So the contact person is Sarah Stein.
Sarah Stein at EYP, or myself at Anchor at CS-Arch.
And is there a phone number they can reach you at? Or?
There is. You can reach me at 518-463-8068.
Okay.
And that's probably the best place to contact. Or the website is also a very good place to get contact information. And that's, again, www.aiaeny.org. And then it's a /Canstruction. And that'll take you to the event. It'll have all the information about contacting, getting involved. In future years as well, we're going to keep that up. As a continuing program through the AIA.
So this is something, although it's the first year, you plan on continuing?
Absolutely. We've already done all the hard work. Now all we got to do is set the event again. So it's been good.
First year is usually the hardest then to get it established?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we've got a really crack team putting this whole thing together from right out of the gates. Like I said, with our partners at EYP and CS-Arch, and it's been great. We've worked hard on it, and the teams are looking great. And
how many teams in participation this year?
This year we have 9 teams.
9 teams. Okay.
We'll have 10 total structures and 9 teams, and we have the capacity to do about 12 can structures. So in the future we'd like to see this grow, and if we need to get more room, we will. There's a big plaza in the concourse at the Empire State Plaza as well that we also looked at for the event. But the State Museum has been an awesome partner right out of the gates.
Sure.
And it's a beautiful space. If I encourage people to go check it out, even if there isn't can structure going on, because it's a really wonderful museum.
Now, will there obviously I saw some pictures on the website. These structures are obviously photographed before they.
Sure, absolutely. Will
they be posted on?
Yep, we'll have some additional photographs on there. We also have currently some time-lapse video of a couple of different builds, which is really kind of neat, because you can see these things all of a sudden, and they're up. And it takes a little more time and effort than that, but you kind of get an idea of the amount of people milling around while this is going on, and how fast and how much work it takes to put one of these together. And we hope that a lot of the teams are going to actually be doing their own time-lapse videos, and we'll be kind of creating a clearinghouse at the website to highlight these and showcase them for future years.
Now you said the structures are different heights though, and different number. Is there a category? When you judge, does the number of cans make a difference?
There is an award for. Well, we kind of have it's almost like a bragging rights thing. Whoever uses the most cans, and it's kind of a bragging rights thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But overall, like, what are some of the categories? You said just artistic.
Yep. There's artistic design. There's a juror's favorite.
Okay.
There's the Community Choice Award, which is the coveted one.
Okay.
There are awards for best meal, like we talked about, and there's a couple others. There's an honorable mention category, and I'm forgetting. There's one other, but there's an award and a kind of a bragging rights thing.
So potentially, you could use. You don't really. Is there a minimum number of cans? Is that
no?
There isn't.
No, there isn't. We've encoured teams to use as many as they can.
Of course.
Not only because it makes the structure look great, because then the way the Food Pantries gets the maximum amount of food.
Right.
And that's the whole idea. Is we really want to fill those food pantries with as much food as we possibly can this time of year.
And now the competition you said will take place at the same time across the country?
No, actually it happens at different times.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of staggered around the country.
Okay.
We're going to try and do our event this time of year, every year, so that it kind of stays in people's minds, and they know that, hey, it's coming up on March, it's time to start thinking about construction. So in the future, that's what the plan is.
Well, now this is a regional competition. You said 9 teams. Now the national competition, I imagine that's got to be a lot more.
It's a lot bigger, yeah. And like I said, they move the event
number
around.
Of teams, or
I don't. They've had. If you think about it, there's municipalities in every state that do this.
There's got to be a lot of teams. At the
it could be hundreds of teams.
Yes,
sure.
Yes.
If every municipality had 2 teams, that's a lot of.
That
teams.
adds up, yeah.
Well,
at the same time, like you said, it's a lot of cans too.
It's a lot of canned goods going to a lot of really needy people.
And then the international competition. Is just that much more.
Exactly.
That's truly amazing. And I'm involved with a lot of engineering type programs, but I never heard of this one until now. But it's it's very well organized. It seems like it's a good purpose.
Well, thank you.
It's a good purpose.
Well, it's been around a long time. The Canstruction National Organization has been doing this. They've worked out a lot of the kinks, and they've been very, very good about getting us the information we need to be able to be successful in our own municipality. But there's still a lot of making those connections and forming those sponsorships and getting those initial people to kind of take the reins. A lot of banging on doors.
But you're finding interest overall. People are interested. And
people initially they're like, "You're going to do what?" And then, and then when you start talking about it a little bit more, they're like, "This sounds like the coolest thing ever," and they naturally they want to be involved because it's a great public event. It's doing a whole lot of different things with a charity. It's creative.
Well, I think it's
a lot of fun.
The competition part of it makes it kind of like a race.
Sure.
And then it's a good cause too, and it's just that much better. When you're doing something it's for a good cause.
Right.
But I imagine this will continue to grow over the years.
We sure hope so. I don't see how it can't.
Yeah, I don't see that. Did you say can't?
Can.
Okay. There's that can again.
Exactly.
Okay. Any other information? We're just about out of time here. Anything else you want to get out to the audience?
No, we encourage people to check it out at the New York State Museum, the event, and we'll do it annually. And we encourage more teams to sign up. And if people want to be sponsors, you know where to find us at the website. Yeah, you gave the website and there's a little brochure here. I don't know if people can get this anywhere. Yes, they can. The State Museum has this rack card. We call it a rack card because it's displayed at various locations around the museum with information on an annual basis, and they can pick it up. Hopefully, they'll see this show and we'll get a little bit more publicity and people know when to come and see it.